fixed and ready for the road. And trust me, and when you get on the road, guess what people gonna ask you? Sis, who fixed your car? Cause Hey mommies, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. This is the Mommy Chats Unfiltered podcast, and you already know the name of the game. It's about bridging the gap between mommies and their purpose. And on today's episode of the Mommy Chats Unfiltered podcast, I have a question for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? You know, I was thinking a thought. I was on my couch just thinking about my journey along this thing with God. And I thought to myself, I said, myself said, have you ever seen, like, you go to a mechanic shop unannounced and they have all their tools laid out with no car to service? Have you ever seen that? And I just got deeper in thought. I told myself, I'm like, what if God was the mechanic and we ourselves were the car? Like, I'm not about to bring out all of my tools. Like, if I'm God, I'm not about to bring out all my tools to come fix a car, aka a vessel that is not even ready or prepared to be fixed. That is not ready or prepared to get better, to take themselves back on the road. You know, I feel like sometimes that's a question that we really have to think, because sometimes we're praying big, bold prayers. Like, especially with us in our motherhood, we're really trying to find purpose. We're really trying to find that thing. But we really have to ask ourselves, like, are you really ready? You know, sometimes we feed ourselves with excuses like, oh, I'm waiting on God and I'm doing that and I'm doing this, you know, I'm just being obedient and just trying to do what he asked me to do. And I'm just trying to be obedient, make sure I don't take a step without him. And this is that, blah, blah, blah. But in fact, we're just really hiding behind our fears. Can we be honest? Like, sometimes we're just hiding behind our responsibilities. Sometimes we can pray for things that we haven't thoroughly evaluated. Like, are you really prepared for this, sis? Like, am I really in a position to receive and do what I'm asking for? Sometimes we act like God is running late. Oh, I'm waiting on God. You know, sis, like, he is never late. God is never late. He's an on-time God. But even if there is a point of time on your journey where there is a wait, I do believe that there are steps and things that you need to do in order to show God your readiness. Like, what does your readiness look like today? What steps are you taking today to showcase your readiness to God? Because you may be a mom itching for purpose. You may be a mom itching to get that thing and do the thing that God has asked you to do. But at the same time, you may have not really positioned yourself in a place of readiness. Has that occurred to you? Let's think about it. What are some things that we can do to show our readiness? Are you outlining or scheduling your day to make room to do your purpose? Are you making room to brainstorm? Are you asking questions? Are you doing the research? Are you waking up a little earlier so that you can buy yourself some more time so that you can go ahead about your business before you get on with a busy day? Are you filling in applications? Are you taking the first step that God had asked you to do since years ago? Like, are you positioning yourself in a readiness position? Does your posture shows readiness? Because if there's one thing I know about the mechanic, or any mechanic for that sake, just because you don't see the tools doesn't mean that he doesn't have it already prepared to service you. Because I believe any mechanic in their right mind would not set up shop if they didn't know how to fix a car. I don't believe any mechanic in their right mind would say, hey, I'm open for business, and they don't have the tools to be able to provide to fix the car that is in need of service. Just think about it. What if God is the mechanic and we are the car? What if you are just the vessel? Are you a ready vessel? Are you a vessel willing and ready to go ahead and do what God has called you to do? But at the same time, you have to be a vessel willing to come humbly and open. Because just like a mechanic needs a car to fix, God still wants to do something through you in the process of him using you. There would be no need for a mechanic if the car was perfectly fixed. If it was out on the road, living its best life, doing whatever it got to do, there would be no need for a mechanic. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all of your ducks in a row. God is going to make all those things happen for you and work it out in your favor. He just needs a willing and open vessel. All you need to do is be willing to take the journey. All you need to do is be willing as a single mother, willing as a mother of 3, willing no matter the obstacle. Because once you're willing, the mechanic can bring his tools out. He can bring the tools out and fix your radiator. He can bring the tools out and fix the engine. He can bring your tools out and do exactly what it is that he needs to do to help you. You know, when I'm thinking about my journey with this brand, at first, number one, when God gave it to me, I was just like, yeah, I don't know about all this, you know, but eventually when I decided to be obedient, I just thought, you know, okay, this is going to be a Instagram platform where I'm just going to put out motivational quotes and say little things here and there. And yes, it turned out to be that. But I started to realize the more that I was willing to go deeper in this thing, the more I was willing to open my heart to be able to use my life as a sacrifice to bridge the gap between mommies and their purpose. God started bringing out tools, y'all. Like tools. This podcast as itself is a form of a tool. Let me tell you about the transformation of Mommies with Purpose. Number one, when I first started, it was just a social media platform on Instagram. Since then, I am now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. 4 different platforms spreading this word. Then on top of that, Mommies with Purpose went from being just a quote unquote day on Instagram to a complete YouTube channel. This channel is also a form of a tool. And from that, as I kept seeking, kept going, and still wanted more, felt like there was something missing, this YouTube channel has transformed into a whole podcast. And even with this motivational part, where me helping you out on the inner part, on the inner being, the inner work that we need to do as mothers, I also wanted to help mothers on the outside. I said, God, what can I do? He's like, use what you have in your hand. Use the gifts that I have given you. And if you have followed me on social media for a while now, you would know I am a heavy thrifter, okay? I am a heavy thrifter, and I love to dress. I'm not a natural born stylist for other people or whatever, but I just love to dress. I love to feel good about myself. I love to go out there and just show my different bright colors and patterns and whatever, but dressing up makes me feel really good. So I meshed those two together of my life of sustainability. And now I have an extended brand of Mommies with Purpose, which is the thrift side, where I show mommies how to dress used clothes that are in their closet, different ways of dressing a certain way that you probably would have never thought to wear an outfit that particular way, or to be creative with your style and be creative with what you wear and how you look. The tools are there, guys. The tools are there. God is just wanting you to be willing. There's no point of telling me, hey, this is going to turn into that. This is going to turn into that. When you do that, if you turn left, it's going to happen. There's no point of informing you of all of those things. Because let me be honest with you. Had God told me, yeah, girl, you're gonna start this thing as a IG, and then it's gonna turn into all these different platforms, and then you're gonna go and make a YouTube channel, boom, to a podcast. Then you're gonna extend it on the opposite side to help mommies with the clothing and this is that, to be able to make them feel more confident about themselves. I probably would have been like, whoa, pump the brakes, okay? Because I still sometimes feel like that. I'm like in my office, like, oh, this is a lot. But I was willing. I became willing. Every time God wanted to take me to another level, take me to a deeper level, I was willing and was just ready to drive this boat. I was willing to let God drive the boat. Like, that's how it was. So, you have to be willing to be ready. Because God is going to transform you in the process of everything. God is going to unfold and continue to give you tools. Because even the Bible tells you, once you are a great steward of what he has given you, God gives you more responsibility. He's going to give you more blessings. He's going to give you more things to look over, more things to tend to. But if you're not ready, there's no reason for the mechanic to put out all his tools. You would never get the full story. You would never see the whole mountain. You'll see the valley or the mountaintop. You will never have it until you start putting your pedal to the metal. And you're going to get bits and pieces. Then eventually the whole picture is going to be like, oh, that's what you were doing, God. I'm telling you, it's a living testimony. I'm a living testimony of it. So he will bring out the tools. And in turn, when a mechanic gives you the tools, you will be a brand new car, fixed and ready for the road. And trust me, and when you get on the road, guess what people gonna ask you? Sis, who fixed your car? Cause that's exactly how it goes. People gonna start asking you like, hey, who do you go to? Who's your mechanic? And it's time to tell them about God. Tell them what he's doing in your life. Tell you about how you didn't have all the tools, but how he has given it to you the moment that you walked in the shop and you decided to give him the car. Tell them about it. So really think and reflect, mommies, today. Are you ready? Are you putting yourself in a position of readiness? And are you ready for what God is going to do in your life? But you already know, I'm going to hit you back up again with something brand spanking new the next time we chat. Until then, be great out there, mommies. And understand, you don't have to be perfect to be ready. You just have to be willing. Have a great one.